The 1 for 18 start in our previous outing, so I think we could see we spent a little time trying to clean up that side of the ball, and again, got a lot of respect for King and Monmouth. They're a team that, in watching their two games, really guarded, and I thought our start got them a little bit on their heels, and Terrence was obviously on a different planet. I think he showed why he's one of the best players in the country. First stat I always look for with him is fouls drawn, and 10 of them is a pretty big number. But the ball had tremendous energy tonight, and it's something that we have not had. And it doesn't have to be perfect execution when you have energy. And we popped the ball around. I think one missed 2-point field goal in the first half. That's pretty good. So, yeah, we got better on that side. I thought, obviously, Jaden Epps, they just said was our 7th freshman since I've been here to have a 20-point game. That's pretty good. And we know all you guys that followed him in his high school ranks know he was an elite scorer, and he did that pretty easy. That was pretty effortless for him. I loved the stretch in the first half between Dane and Sky in ball screens. Just an unbelievable segment of execution, of a freshman making the right reads. Dane's an elite finisher, and he finished those plays. So that was big progress. Sky in high school went and finished those plays because of his athleticism and his strength, and his strength got him those plays, and his decision making, basketball IQ made the right pocket passes. So interesting night, for Coleman. I put him back in the first half with 2. It's really hard to play when you don't get in that rhythm. And we're going to need to play him at times, maybe with 2 fouls. So I threw him back in there, trying to get him, trying to earn a little trust, and we talked about that. But we didn't help Coleman tonight, and we still got to get better. We stood and watched when he's such a trigger for us on the offensive end, and we didn't put him in some very good positions. We didn't cut enough. But we'll continue to work on that. But all in all, we got better in different segments, all of these 3 games. And now on Friday night we get a different challenge, and playing one of the elite events in college basketball this year with all ranked teams and all really good players and really good coaches.
Scott.
You kept coaching, kept correcting as that game went on. Just how important is it to do maybe that in those moments, and what's kind of a big lead there?
Yeah, and I don't know if I'm probably a bad coach in games like that, and because I'm not the one that just sit back and prop my feet up and enjoy it. I think every moment's a teaching, a teaching moment, and I want the game played the right way. And, you've got to be smart in there. Our tempo changed, obviously. We didn't trap in the second half. But you've still got to do the things the right way. And we got some new guys, and, they got to continue to learn and grow. And so, it's the way I've always done it. And sometimes in games like that, human nature is just to relax, and I don't do that very well.
Doug.
Coach, it was evident from this game you have multiple players who can grab a rebound and go. Can you just talk about what that does as far as creating scoring opportunities and putting pressure on the defense?
Yeah, and I think that's, that was a thing that happened, at some point with Io. Io's started figuring out triple doubles were pretty cool thing to have, so let me go defensive rebound. And he was also first or second in the country that year in points in transition, and it's really hard to go. And if we can get guys out and running and pitching ahead, if Terrence Shannon gets a rebound and get RJ running or Sky running or whoever's in, they're going to get shots. And we've practiced that all summer, so it's in fall. So it's a big piece of what we want to do. We've got to probably not have Dane do it a whole lot, but everybody else is capable.
Joey.
Brad, with your freshmen, what are the biggest growth points or just comfort points that you've seen in these first 3 games? And knowing that you had Vegas coming into this stretch, was there anything you were specifically looking for out of them in terms of comfort or just finding their way?
Yeah, I think that's just it. Just finding a little comfort. I mean, it's so different putting a uniform on and playing in front of fans, and it's so different when the other coach scouts, and you're still trying to get good at what you do. And they're going to learn really quick now that mistakes, you get out. You're coming out. And, we let them play through some of these things in some of these games. But to be great people, we've got to really minimize those mistakes. And there's a thing called game slippage. And you can cover stuff in practice, and you can cover it, and you get it right, and all of a sudden the flow of the game gets going. And veterans don't make those mistakes a lot of times. We're getting better at those, but again, in these type of games, it's something we got to make sure we minimize.
Jeremy.
But I think it's fair to say Terrence has the ball in his hands a little bit more with you guys than he did at his previous stop. What gave you the confidence to do that with him, and what have you seen from him being able to do that? What's it mean for you guys?
Yeah, it's really easy. I see him in the gym working every day. I mean, he's a relentless worker. And, with that, we've got to keep helping him grow in his decision-making. I mean, he made some nice passes tonight that maybe even, in our secret scrimmage he wasn't making. He's just growing there. And so, we keep telling him, good players make themselves better, and he's a really good player. Now become a great one, make your teammates better. But he works so hard. He works on every aspect. Before the game today, he's in oven, and he's working on dribble moves, and he's just it's just who he is. That's how he's wired. So I got a lot of confidence in that. And when guys work, I usually let them try to put it into play in a game.
Mark in the way back.
Coach, in the opening statement, you talked about the ball energy and the ball movement going around. That was very evident tonight. How quickly is this team gelling, and how much more improvement would you like to see out of your team going forward?
Yeah, nights like tonight help. They help that. And I put a saying on the board tonight, be a great teammate. And, we've still got to get to the point where we're vocal, telling a teammate, great pass.